Something we found out earlier today, and we've been waiting to find out, is when the by-election in Saint-Henri, Sainte-Anne, this is the same riding, of course, where Dominique Anglade had won before or during the last provincial election. But then, of course, we know what happened. She left as leader of the provincial Liberals. She also is no longer, of course, the MNA for that particular riding. So now there's going to be a by-election, and this one is particularly interesting, A, because traditionally this has been a Liberal-held riding, but it's a riding Quebec Solidaire really would like to win, because were they to win it, that would give them 12 seats in the National Assembly, and that's the cutoff point to make them an official party, an opposition party. So it comes with money and perks and lots of other things, and they're serious about this riding and will spend a lot of money and a lot of time in it. By the way, it's worth pointing out that in the last election, even though Dominique Anglade won, the QS candidate finished second. Didn't lose by all that much. Well, now the Liberals have finally announced, because we found out today that, in fact, that by-election is going to be held in Saint-Henri, Sainte-Anne on March 13th. And we are waiting to see who the Liberal candidate would be. Well, today we found out his name is Christopher BAENNINGER. He is a Liberal candidate in Saint-Henri, Sainte-Anne. He's on the line right now. Mr. BAENNINGER, thank you for being here today.
Hi, how's it going? It's a pleasure. It's an honor to be with you, and thanks for pronouncing my name right. It's not an easy one to pronounce.
Well, I was going to go BAENNINGER because that's the obvious, but I've heard all our newscasts call you BAENNINGER, so I'm assuming that's the correct pronunciation.
That's correct.
Okay.
We're all good. Thank you.
Let's start with, as I said, this has been a Liberal stronghold for many, many years, but that was then. This is now. So first of all, maybe you could tell CJD listeners, I live in that riding, by the way. I don't know who you are. Who's Christopher BAENNINGER?
Christopher BAENNINGER is a guy who loves Montreal, and I've lived here for the past 19 years. I went abroad. I lived in Europe for a while, so I'm an international guy. I speak 4 languages fluently, of course, English, French, Italian, and German. And I'm a guy who builds bridges, who wants to, make sure that everybody feels welcome to Canada, welcome to Quebec, and feels part of our platform. And it's a great pleasure and honor to be going to a neighborhood that, could potentially be seen as quite fragmented in terms of all kinds of communities. But the Liberal Party's always seen that as a strength, not a weakness. And I'm going to continue to make everybody feel welcome here, to connect with people, to understand what the challenges are. And I've got a background in entrepreneurship. I'm a social entrepreneur. And as you know, social entrepreneurship is always looking for solutions to concrete social problems. We helped launch ecological products like the first electric motorbike. We also did a lot in mental health. I'm talking with my company. And for me, it's a natural progression to go into politics, because I want to have a positive impact on the community. And what a great community Saint-Henri, Sainte-Anne is. I mean, this, with diversified challenges, but also a community that's come so far in terms of social development and equal opportunity. And I want to continue to do the good work that Dominique Anglade did.
Well, that all sounds very encouraging, and we wish you luck in this campaign. However, you have run in other ridings in the past. Most recently, you were runner-up in Saint-Marie-Saint-Jacques. I wonder if you could tell us what went wrong, perhaps. Why do you think you didn't get elected in those ridings?
Yeah, that's a good question. My adventure in politics started quite recently. I've been, since the last election, which was the election of October, but I actually started running in June, July. So, this was it's a similar neighborhood. Sainte-Marie-Saint-Jacques has got similar challenges in terms of people feeling left out, people feeling left behind. And so lots of the challenges are the same, but I have a special connection with Saint-Henri, Sainte-Anne in that I started my first years here with my current wife, Tamara, and we have a kid together. And our first years spent together were on, I don't know if you know the road Saint-Philippe, right in the heart of Saint-Henri. And I love this neighborhood, and also my parents are living here. So they live in Little Burgundy. So I've got an emotional attachment to the neighborhood. So that's very important. I'm here regularly. I come with my son and wife. We walk around the canal when it's not too cold. We go to Atwater Market. We love it here. And it's funny because there's lots of challenges. I mean, the main 3 are, as you know, access to affordable housing, access to daycare, and security. These are the big 3. And as big as the challenges are, it's important to remind people how far we've come as well. Saint-Henri has become burgeoning. It's so dynamic. It's so lively. Restaurants, bars, artisans creating great jewelry. I mean, there's all kinds of things. And I think that positive energy is also thanks to Dominique Anglade and our party, because we believe in equal opportunity, and we believe that, we believe in business. A Liberal Party at its best is the combination of a business economy party and social justice. And that's what I want to bring to the neighborhood, that to remind everybody that I'm on their side for both these important things.
You say you visit here frequently, parents are down. You don't live in the riding itself, right? You don't actually live in the riding?
Currently, I live a little bit north near Little Italy. It's called Villeray. But, I'm a Montrealer. I always say I'm a Montrealer. I love Montreal. Je parle couramment le français aussi. Le français est très important pour moi. The French is absolutely primordial that we can continue to defend it. And as a Montrealer, I think that we have similar aspirations and similar challenges in the different neighborhoods. And Centre Sud-Ouest is obviously a neighborhood where I started to, my relationship with my wife. So I'm here very, very often. So I don't see it as a challenge not living there currently. I've lived there before. I continue to spend a lot of time here.
So you've eaten, I guess, at Green Spot Restaurant.
Of course. I love it. Classic diner, great burger, great atmosphere.
Okay.
It's like being in the 50s. I love it.
That's a prerequisite if you're going to run in this riding, Natasha.
That's right.
So I'm just thinking, you haven't got a lot of space ahead of you. You know what I mean? The election's coming up on the 13th. You've got a lot to get accomplished in a fairly short period of time.
True.
I'm thinking when candidates are trying to get their ridings to get to know them, they kind of hit the ground and start knocking on doors and kissing babies and shaking hands. Is that what this has been for you right out of the gate?
Oh yeah, right out of the gate. I mean, we announced my candidacy this morning, and honestly, it's been nonstop press points and stuff. But what I'm also looking forward to, I love chatting with you guys, but I'm looking forward to go door to door. Really meet the people, understand what their day-to-day challenges are, reassure them that we're with them, not just talking about it, but showing them how realistically we're going to be able to find solutions to their problems. People are still suffering. We've come a long way, but there's still a lot of work to be done. And I look forward to being the guy that's going to help us, continue to move ahead.
The suggestion has been made that the provincial Liberals anyway, ever since Dominic Anglade left, and frankly before that as well, don't really seem to have much of a focus in terms of where they stand on a couple of different issues. Now, in the riding you're running in, there's a large Francophone population in this riding. When you get questions on Bill 96 and Bill 21, what's your answer going to be to them?
Well, that's a very good question. I think that it's important, whoever you're speaking to, not to do pandering. And the truth of the matter, it's pretty straightforward, is the Liberal Party is the only party that's voted against Bill 96 and that's voted against Bill 21. So I would say, Bill 21 we voted against because we're for social justice and inclusivity, and we think that the Bill 21 went too far in terms of, intervening with your symbols. And the Bill 96, we should be able to speak the language that we want, especially at home. But at the same time, I'll always defend French. Vous savez, le français, we should all be learning French, and we shouldn't punish people because they can't speak it after 6 months feeling like they're not welcome here anymore. We should actually increase accessibility to French lessons so that everybody can learn French. I'm very proud of not only me speaking French, but my son speaks French. He goes to French-speaking school. We speak French with my wife. And I think we have to stop antagonizing the French and the English. We want to, of course, we want to let people speak the language of their choice at home, but we also want to, encourage English. Encourage French. And the problem with Bill 96 is it went too far, in trying to protect French. It was antagonistic and it was punitive.
All right. The government has gone out of its way, the CAQ government, lately anyway, to suggest or make a point of the fact that, French is in decline. It's kind of a recurrent theme. But also this idea, they're not happy with the numbers they see in terms of French being spoken at home, as if somehow that's now going to be the next major push. What do you think of that?
So I think it's not the kind of language that we like to hear, because the government should never be intervening in the language we speak at home. That's the first thing. The second thing is it's a bit more complicated than their statistics. I've got lots of neighbors in both Saint-Henri, Sainte-Anne, and Villeray. The neighbors often state on the form what language they speak at home, but they also speak French. So the statistics don't necessarily indicate the whole, the full picture. Having said that, let's not forget, and I'm sure you guys will agree, we're an island of, French speakers in the whole of a huge continent that is North America. And of course, when you're an island that feels under threat, you're going to want to defend, what you're trying to protect. So I think it's normal to want to defend the French, but it's just the way that's going about it that the government's just going too far. And I think that we have to call them on it. A strong opposition party has to be clear. And where we weren't clear enough sometimes, I would agree with you guys, we have to be clear. And I'm certainly going to be very clear about that. We're for defending the French language, but we're also completely against the government intervening in what language you choose to speak at home.
So we're out of time, so I'm just going to squeeze this in really quickly. There's been a lot of talk, as Aaron kind of touched on, about the state of the Liberal Party here in Quebec and that it's kind of fractured and that people have lost confidence in it. What would you say to have people think that the Liberal Party has its act together?
What I would say is when you're put under challenge, no matter what walk of life you're in, you can only, listen, ask yourself what went well, but also what went wrong, and then improve. And that's the mode we're in now. We've got a great, strong leader in Marc Tanguay, who's got a clear focus, speaks great English, by the way, as French. And his focus is really to, say, okay, what did we do right? What did we do wrong? And accept that there are things to improve. We're not at all saying that we don't have to change. On the contrary, we're ready to change the things that didn't work, and we want to go forward and build, solidify our party, but also solidify our message. We have to be clear about our message, and that's my intention when I go and meet the people in Saint-Henri, Sainte-Anne.
Christopher BAENNINGER, he is the Liberal candidate, Saint-Henri, Sainte-Anne. That by-election made official today will happen on March 13th. We thank you so much for your time. Wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Aaron and Natasha. I love listening to you on the radio. It's my first chance to speak to you directly, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Good luck. There you go.